Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Chaotic Harmony, episode 120, the beginning of season 7. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah! I'm your host today, Jonathan Seligman, and I am joined by the king of cardigans, Marc mkeehmer.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm well. How are you?
Do you still rock the cardigan now that you're in the Midwest?
Not during the summer because it is hot, but
Because it sticks to your skin.
Oh yeah, but during the fall, you betcha.
Fair enough, fair enough. We're also joined by the one who brings the fun, Jamie John. Hey, Jamie.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Good to see you. And lastly, the classy nerd himself, Genesis Santos.
Hey.
First off, how you guys doing? Happy Monday.
It's
Happy
going
Monday.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know we'll get into it in a bit. I'm sure some of you have started and such, but we'll get into that in a bit. But to our listeners, this is Chaotic Harmony. This is the show where we talk about the joys, struggles, and all things adjacent to elementary music. A bit of housekeeping before we get into the meat of stuff. In our last episode, Genesis led the conversation with Darlene Machacon, Rachel Pack, and myself to reflect on the latest AAPI/AC music education gathering. First off, Genesis, great job. I loved the energy you brought. And so if you haven't listened to it, listeners, go check that out. And I'm really excited to also just have you be part of this, chaotic family. Also, next week, it isn't solidified yet, so I won't say anything about it. But when it does come to fruition, it should be a good one. So, also, last thing before we get into it, last season we did a fantasy draft where the Arosa crew created a list of songs of varying video games to match the 8 Laban efforts. Finally, the results are in, and the winner of that is Jasmine Ma. Round of applause to her, even though she's not here.
I knew that from the start.
She had a really good list. It was good.
As soon as the episode was over.
Glide. Tetris is glide. Tetris is glide.
Actually, so I was really happy. First off, all the people who kind of messaged us regarding that, but also a huge shout out to Lindsay Mullins for having her class in San Jose over the summer to try out some of the Laban efforts and try out the glide with her students.
Yes. I was so happy to watch that video she shared with us. It was so amazing to just see it happen.
I
Marc,
just had to bite my tongue harder.
As a listener, what were your thoughts on that whole spiel?
I don't remember who I voted for, but I enjoyed the banter, and yeah, it was good.
That all said, today we're not talking about video games per se. So the school year has started for most of us, all of us. When did you? So you start, Jamie? You start tomorrow? Is that correct?
No, Jasmine and I already started.
So you're already started, but you see kids tomorrow first, or
we already saw kids.
You saw kids already? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're confusing her with me.
Yeah.
Oh, is it you? Oh.
Yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, I mean, I would already seen my kiddos, but at the point of recording, I see my kiddos for the first time tomorrow.
Okay.
At the point of recording, this is my 3rd day of teaching kids today. Yeah.
So wait, you saw kids on Thursday?
Yes.
Why Thursday?
Because for our schedule, it's a short day. And so just to ease everybody in, just make the first day a short day. And then Friday is a full day. And then, hey, it's a weekend. And then now we're starting our full week of school.
Okay.
That's how they voted for it. I'm not the one who started the whole process. So
Jamie, explain why your district is no. Okay, so Genesis, you start tomorrow. Jamie, you start. Okay, so before we get into that, I guess I want you we didn't have a final episode. We were talking about having a final episode last season to kind of reflect on the year. How was your past year? First off, how was your past year, and do you think that affects your thoughts as you enter this school year? Jamie, we'll start with you this time since we put Genesis on the spot last time.
Don't start with Genesis. Well, my situation is different. this is a K-8 school. And as far as I know from asking different teachers and people, there has not really been, before me, they had rotating music teachers who were only here part-time. And so they didn't have a really solid, consistent music program because of that. And it's only when I started working here full-time last year is that we are starting to have one. So I'm doing everything from scratch. Yay!
So you
So
were
I'm
kind of
teaching.
their first time. Are you? Would you like? Is it even considered that you're the founder, music teacher? Kind of. I know you're not, but like, it's, in a sense, you're creating this culture.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm teaching elementary and middle school, elementary general music and middle school band. And last year, first time having a full-time music teacher as far as I know. And so I'm here every day. And there were a lot of growing pains last year. Let's just say that. And I was just talking to colleague and friend about it. I was like, actually, there's still going to be growing pains, basically. But at least I've learned from the first year. Hopefully, the second year, the growing pains are less.
is
Is
do you feel
basically a summary.
do you feel comfortable sharing, I guess, sliver of what you mean by growing pain in your context?
Growing pains as in like it's difficult to navigate between elementary and middle school. There's like
Mm.
a elementary there's a schedule, the specialist schedule to include both elementary and middle school for both me and basically all the specialist teachers. So just to clarify, in our district we call specialist teachers the visual and performing arts teachers, so including art, music, and PE. There are some theater teachers, but not every school has a theater teacher, so they're also specialists in our subjects. Basically that was complicated mess. Trying to
Sure.
fit both all the period schedules and fitting it into elementary music. And I guess part of the growing pain is that they have never had like a band program or like a beginning band program or a consistent band program. So and never one for the middle school. They never had an elective for music or art or anything as far as I know. So I here's a brand new person who like none of the middle schools know. Nobody knows me. I
Mhm.
was only teaching elementary. None of the middle schoolers, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders know who I am. So I was lucky to have the number that I did get. Now, part of the growing pains this year is that the band class that I had last year are returning this year, but there's no beginning and intermediate band class. So I have to mix all of them together in the same class, basically.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the growing pains. They just couldn't fit it into their curriculum scheduling. I tried, and the VP last year tried to advocate for it too and mentioned it, but I guess hopefully that's something to work towards in the future with something that's still fairly new. So that's one example.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have an idea on how you're going to tackle that last piece?
Oh, you mean juggling between the beginner and intermediate students?
Yeah.
Well, my idea so far, it's not really like we're gonna try it out. We're gonna do a lot of experimenting because it's not something I had to have more advanced students in a beginning class before, but not so many. So not so many. But they're really gung-ho and really flexible kids who do an amazing job. So I feel like they're I'm gonna set them as like section leaders for the beginning students, have more sectionals where, okay, this is how to be a leader, this is how to help the beginning students. I'll teach them how to do that first and then set them out to do that. But also give them more advanced music to play. So we'll take turns between advanced students, you play with the beginning students watch the advanced students as they practice and play this piece, because they'll be playing and practicing different things, of course. And there's also honor band is more accessible for the advanced kids, basically, because we have our district honor band. But when I looked at the requirements and expectations for it last year, I was like, there's no way they're ready for this, not for the first beginning band year. But this year they would be. Yeah, so there are lots of things to juggle there. Growing pains. Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
How frequently do you get to see them?
Every day.
Ooh.
So that's kind of the nice thing. I get to
Yeah.
see them every day.
Cool. I love that. And I think if you don't mind, I think introducing the idea of chamber ensembles can be really cool, especially at this age.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I just think mixing it up and having that would be a lot of fun.
You
And
should have seen
actually,
her final concert because I was
oh
there.
yeah, that's
Because she
right.
kind of did like this chamber thing where like they had duets
I love
and
it.
like some trios and some solos playing, and it was all variety. Like it was so fun to see. Like my favorite part is there were these two flautists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two flautists, and they decided to play the Bluey theme.
Yes.
And the audience participation on that one was just amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They figured it out by ear and were able to play it for the class. And when they first auditioned for to play for the concert, I was like, yes, yes, you have to do that. So yeah, definitely. I give them like time during the period for practice time, and that's their chance to do that.
Cool. How fun is that?
Genesis, how about you? As you reflect on last year, what are some, as you reflect on last year, does it affect your thoughts this year, etc.?
Um, Mine was a very personal journey last year. I'll go in, I won't go into super specifics, but as an educator, battling a lot of mental health issues last year, as that's what I'm gonna like open up with. It was an interesting year trying to survive a school year where everything is going as it should be, but internally as a professional, it's it's not all quite there. And you really show up. Talk about this that past year of coming in and showing up for your kiddos. Like that was my thing every time I stepped into the room. It was a lot of negotiation of what internally I was mentally prepared to do and honoring also what my students need to experience in the classroom. Um, there was a point too where in the year where I was very like transparent with my students, is to the point where I'm saying like, "Hey, I'm not myself today. You know who I am as your teacher. I have my fourth and fifth and sixth graders. Like, you know who I am. My third graders, like, you get an idea of who I am right now. But right now, not everything's in line. And I'm comfortable enough to say that, but do your best to join me on this musical journey that we're going to have as best as we can have today. And that level of openness with my kiddos this past year, with just being that transparent with them, was very transformative in the sense of like they were very receptive. They were like they understood not everyone has a great day because we preach that all the time as teachers, right? Not
Yeah.
everyone has a day,
Mhm.
right? Everyone's allowed a bad day.
Yeah.
And when they see, I felt like this year when they saw me practice that with them, and it's like, hey, I'm having things and going on. It was okay. We can do that with you. And so, not so that was the magic with my students that year, and I think also on the unfortunate downside, me taking with battling with all of that, I was very much more passive in my roles, especially on my music team, very much more passive, like with going things about just because I don't know where the energy would be coming from, right?
Yeah.
The things that to go there. As much as I wanted to be there for people last year, it was trying to uncover things for me and returning or even discussing like accepting certain things as well was very difficult. And so I I felt that as far as my team was concerned, I wasn't a prominent figure in a way that allowed certain people to flourish. Because, like, I love when we get new people, because my goal with the new people is to make them sure that they're welcomed, to make sure that they have support, right? As going on, as someone who just cares about making sure we have quality professionals in our field and to help and support them. And it was last year, it was just not existent for me. unfortunately. Like as someone who would normally stay that extra 30 minutes to check in with, someone on the team, like, hey, how did your week go? What are you struggling this week? Do you want advice? Right? My bandwidth last year was just not there, unfortunately. But leading into this year, and with the help of therapy, I cannot like stress that enough. It's such a blessing to have. But like this year, I will say like a complete 180. Where I am taking a role as a mentor this year for new people on my team. There is so much growth happening in my particular district, where we started out with 15 music and art teachers for just specifically elementary, and now we're a team of 30 something.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, and majority of them got hired this past summer.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, majority of them got this summer. A few of them were like subs now going on through the internship program. We have a few new interns. We have a few new professionals coming from the teacher preparation programs, kind of thing. And I'm taking on this mantle of like, hey, I'm wanting to give back to my community because I want to make sure that we have quality people. And what better way to have quality people if everyone is, you're checking in and everyone is asking for help from you? Why not do it? And help really place it forward. So I'm really excited. Like I have 2 mentees this year that I'm really excited to see grow. 2 starkly different people. Like let me say that too. But I'm excited to see to shape them into being a music education professional. Like I haven't felt this excited about my work in a very long time. And this is now like allowing me to find new breath in helping people out. And also, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but re-examining the things that I do as well. Because if I'm mentoring them, am I practicing what I'm preaching? Kind of thing. And that's important for a person like me. So yeah, last year really affected me. And this year, I mean, I will say I am off to the races. I'm feeling much more positive about this year and looking forward to the journey now. Not trying to survive, but helping not only thrive, but helping others thrive as well.
I'm really glad to hear that, Genesis. First off, have you ever been in this kind of position as far as like being an official mentor? It sounds like you've done that kind of stuff unofficially before. Is this your first time ever taking on mentees?
Yes, this is the first time like it's an official title for me. Every year that I've been in the district, I've just been that person that just like checks in, gives advice, talks to them, helps like the newbies like, "Oh, hey, remember that this is coming up, and if you need someone to help you walk through the system, like let me know." And like your mentor will help you count this for hours. I just want to make sure that you are doing okay. But now I'm doing that in an official status, which feels good.
That's really cool. We need more people like you, Genesis, honestly. Um, yeah, I always talk about the whole four walls thing, and I'm glad that you're someone that definitely cares about beyond your 4 walls. Um,
And I feel kind of similar to what you said about re-examining what you do, because last year I had a student teacher. This year I have a student teacher again, and it just helps me really reflect on whether I'm really practicing what I'm saying I'm teaching, and having a different student teacher this year. Every mentee or student teacher is different, and so they'll help you re-examine something else about yourself, and that's what I'm finding this year as well.
Marc, I know that your position's different.
Yeah.
So you're not for you, it's not so much that you aren't in the elementary education sphere, but I know there's a lot of listeners that aren't also either anymore or ever was. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, how was last year? Last year was your first time being in your
Yeah.
position?
So we moved out here to Indy in May of 2024. And so I came on, and my title was program director. And so when I got here, we were just about to hit the summer season, which at that point we were running about 20 camps. And so we did that, and it was, it was lovely. It was kind of trial by fire. And being in a new place, it was, I'm very mindful and trying to listen and to not be the person to always kind of jump in with their ideas first. And I know that now, especially being from California, coming to another state. Because I think that there's always kind of that like stigma of like, oh, Californians are ruining every other state. That's why no one wants them to move there. And like, you know, fair to some degree. And so like I knew I carried that with me. And then I just trying to learn a completely new culture, a new system, um, a new in higher ed. And so also trying to balance this knowledge of like, okay, I've done this for the past 9 years and working with elementary and teachers and whatnot, and now this is all completely different. And then in November we had an unexpected restructure, and so our my title changed and my job changed a little bit. And so now my title is assistant director, and that kind of entails overseeing the staff office, and then now all of our teaching artists that we have. And so we have about 80 to 100 teaching artists um, who teach private lessons, who teach in schools, who do those things. And so I'm kind of overseeing them. But I think the part that's tricky, I guess you could say, is that many of our teaching artists are also students at the university. And I also don't want to overstep, and knowing that they're paying for an education, working with these professors who are incredible humans. Um, and also so it's trying to learn and navigate those relationships as well. And so I get to teach. I have a couple of private lesson students, and I've had them for a little while. And then this summer I taught and ran our arts adventure camp, which was a half day camp where kids participate in dance and visual art and music. And so I ran the music component. We did a lot of Orphe stuff, and it was a ton of fun. But my time is kind of now administrative, but I do get to teach a little bit, and we're starting this program called our string project, and so I'm teaching beginning guitar and intermediate guitar. And it's a ton of fun. And then we also have a partnership with the VA, where I'm working with some of my incredible colleagues where we teach instruments to vets and some who have zero experience, and they're coming and just making music, and it's been fun to see that growth. And so um, it's been a whirlwind of a year, I'll tell you what. And we did this personality assessment called the predictive index, and so it's a B, C, D, and then you rank high or low on either one. And they each tell different things about your personality and kind of how you work. And I learned through this that I require a lot of systems and like a lot of structure.
Mm.
And this last year, up until more recently, there's not been a lot of structure, and it has been a little chaotic at times. And then also with family moving, and we don't have any family in the area and stuff. And so, it's been a year, but things are starting to settle down. My little one, she's entering her second year of school at her school, and she's going into second grade, and she loves her teacher. Her teacher has a hamster, and so she's amped on it. But yeah, it's been a year of adjustment, of growth, and it's nice to be able to pause and reflect for what actually has been accomplished during seasons that you feel that you're failing.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
it's we're at the start of a new year, but it's been a lot of growth.
Yeah. First off, what's the hamster's name?
Squeakers.
Really? Squeakers?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I give that an 8 out of 10 name. It's good. That's good.
It sounds like a name I would give a hamster. And I am the worst. I have the worst creativity with names.
I'll let the teacher know your feedback.
It seems like for at least for Jamie, you were in a kind of a different situation, but for at least Genesis, Mark, and definitely myself, no, actually no, you're talking about growing pains, Jamie. It does
Mhm.
align. Like
Yeah.
last year was tumultuous. It seems like it was rather tumultuous for a lot of us for different reasons. Would you agree?
A
Yeah.
learning curve.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm,
We
mm.
all had our own learning curves.
A new
Yeah.
or a different experience learning curve. Because like I have to ask you, Mark, like was this like you being like learning like on the job experience, like literally being thrown to the wolves, like going through, or it was this like they like kind of onboarded you, kind of told you what the things like how was your experience transitioning from like a district to university status?
It was a little bit of on the job, just kind of thrown into the fire. There were some
Dang.
onboarding processes and whatnot, but also
Mhm.
I think it's interesting because I feel that we're all relatively around the same age. Um, and so maybe that's just kind of what this age brings is like we are no longer in our early 20s in, this kind of early part of our careers where there's a lot of growth and there's just struggling and you're like, "Oh, right, I can eat because we have ramen." But now like, there's some established things. And so coming here, I came here with a bunch of experience in the educational realm, but I didn't come here with the experience of like kind of the business portion of how to run a program. And so I
Mm.
always kind of had that luxury of being in a public school system where there's so many systems and structures. And now it's like, okay, I want to run a program. How much am I going to charge for it? How much are we going to make from it? Is it going to be,
Whew.
worth everybody's time? And so, like, the thing about working at a school or in a school district is like you have your people there already.
Mm.
And so now it's trying to learn how do we get people to our thing and also be okay with charging them. And so kind of what I've shared with friends and whatnot is like I love this work and I also recognize I am a terrible business person. And so we have people to do that. So it's not my job, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But like
Mhm.
it is definitely a shift of like, oh, like we have to charge this and we have to make sure our bottom line is covered and that we are going to be okay as an organization. So that's a lot of change.
So it's kind of like you were in a position where you were working within the systems,
Mhm.
and now you're having that kind of awkward freedom of creating it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And there was a lot of like, so I was in Chula Vista prior to coming out here. I was at the district office and so on the dark side. And so and so it is kind of that like yeah, you play within those systems and you know what you have to do and you're trying to do that and like I had these grand ideas like, oh, if I was to do this on my own, this is what I would do, and like there's all that confidence, and then now that I'm actually doing it, it's like, oh gosh, there's so much second guessing, there's so much overthinking, and there's so much of like I just want people to come and do the thing, but I recognize I'm kind of an outsider to this whole city because it's not where I'm from, and there's a lot of people around here who like this is where they grew up and this is their university and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And you want to do best by the community and the organization and all the things. And so it definitely took those grand ideas that I had, and it's like, okay, prove it. Like you said that you can do this better, do it. And so it was a humbling experience, and also a humbling experience with leadership and having people directly report to you and having to fill out performance reviews and justify why you are doing like, giving people these performance reviews, and being the guide to their career trajectory when they are early off in their career. And so it's like I want to make sure like they feel that they have a strong foundation and they understand the importance of what I believe is so important to a strong career and stuff. And so again, it's a lot of that practical, like, okay, you had 9 years in the public education realm where you had all these grand ideas of, all right, you want to do it, and now I'm having to do it. And it's a humbling experience, I'll tell you what.
If anything, I just hope this kind of humanizes the people that are in these bigger organizations. Like, I know we throw fists at the administration, and sometimes justifiably so, but oftentimes they're run by people
A
like you.
human being,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
You
a,
Yeah.
it's
have
a
to remind it
person.
it's a person behind there,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And they're doing the best they can to, just like how we are.
We want to
I feel
believe.
like I feel like it helps to know that you're Mark, you've been in our position
Mhm.
and especially specifically in music,
Mhm.
and now you're in that admin position. And I feel like we need more people who are in the specialists department to go up there because we
Mhm.
need more people who have that voice, who have that perspective, and can advocate. So it definitely, I mean, not to dehumanize anybody else who's not, but at the same time, I don't know about all of you, but I've been in positions where they didn't know what to do with the music teacher
Yep.
and would just put them wherever because of the space and money. And so
Mhm.
it was dehumanizing for me. So yeah, but like in this past couple of years, I have had like a VP who used to be a music teacher and colleague, and then she became the vice principal at my school, and that just changed the game. So
Yeah.
it helps to have someone like you in that position too.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I also say and perhaps this goes back to the whole imposter syndrome thing that I feel like is constantly being brought up, and like I feel it too. But I recognize that I didn't teach in the classroom post-pandemic. And so like my experience is a little bit different because when we came back from the pandemic, that's when I went to the district. And so
Oh,
granted, my week 2 on my job, I was writing the COVID guidelines for the district because the state didn't have anything and our district didn't have anything. So it's like, all right, well, let's see, like I'm not qualified to do this. No one like we're fine. But like there's also that imposter syndrome that's like, okay, have I been out of it too long where I've lost that, that connection to the thing
yeah.
that I once loved so much? And yeah, it's again classic just overthinking all the time. And so that's part of it is like, yes, administrators do that, but then do teachers, and I'm not saying you all do that, but then do we view them as in a different way because they've gone the administrator route? Um, and I'm not, again, it's not to vilify anybody, but like in doing so, do we lose credibility as a teacher by becoming an administrator?
It's a hard balance, but I
Yeah.
feel like all of you here are overthinkers. And because you're all overthinkers, you care.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
The
fair.
fact that you're overthinking shows how much you care.
I mean, the fact that we're spending our Monday afternoon or evening in some cases to record an episode, we are people that care. That is for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
um, I'm realizing, oh man, I had like 26 more questions. We've only scratched two. And
Yeah, I'm
speaking of
like, how are
overthinking,
we going to get through all
we're
this?
not going to get through all this.
No.
I didn't
Um,
think so.
overthinking, that's
E-
what we do. And
Everybody gets
also,
one word answers. That's it from
Yes.
here on out.
From this point.
and also like just the whole element of like shifting tides. Like even chaotic harmony right now is going through shifting tides as we transition more into an online format, and also as we transition into more cool kids. Like we're learning whatnot. Just say a little bit about my time last year. It was similar to y'all. It was rough. It was really really rough. uh yeah, I've shared stories with you guys, regarding some of the things that I both witnessed and also happened in my classroom, and also Genesis, as you signed on, it kind of shared that like I was really looking forward to this school year because I was thinking, oh, here's a new fresh breath of air. But on top of like the short summer, and then today being really demoralizing, it's just been kind of hard. It's that I guess like without getting into too many details, it's just been a rough kind of situation. So like, I'm with you, Genesis, as far as thank you therapy. I recently just jumped back in because I'm kind of needing it, with
Yeah.
the different things I'm spinning, plus also deciding who's going to be the flower. Like adding more things, and so I've had a lot of thoughts and questions as far as my future, whatnot, and so it's like it's been nice to talk with through a therapist, but it's yeah, last year was kind of rough. I'm hoping that we can kind of like that this year brings something new or brings something or forces me to ease on the gas pedal or something. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I feel like I'm still just because Chula Vista only has 6 weeks of summer and 2 of those weeks were occupied very heavily. Like I'm still in that last year realm a bit. Just to end this, just because we have a lot to share, just to since this is the new season, I know whenever people say the folks, whenever there's been a lot of pushback on the why, people say, oh, people ask workers to focus on the why. There's a lot of pushback, and I do get it. Oftentimes, it's like often from bosses. Marc, I love you. It's often from bosses who tell the working class to focus on the why, or why you entered a certain profession, and ignore the lack of supports from the top. But I still find value in asking the why. And it's easy to get mixed into the politics of just teaching, and we lose just the why we're with our kids, or Marc, while you're in music education as a whole. So as a contemporary, not an over supervised, but as a contemporary, why are you still a music educator?
Should we have Marc go first?
Yeah, let's start with yeah. Let's have Marc go first.
Well, my initial snarky response is because my feet pics don't sell well. But
can we put that in?
Yes, we are definitely. That's gonna be a thumbnail. Marc, I want you to send me a picture.
Then I'll say you haven't tried very hard.
I think my why is like I love helping people, and this is the avenue in the trajectory in which I get to do that. This is what I spent 4 years of my life learning how to do in undergrad. Band is where I felt like I belonged in high school and in junior high. Um, and I'm going to get off on a mini tangent, but we'll bring it back, I promise. Yesterday at the golf BMW championship, Scotty Scheffler won again, and he's an incredible golfer. It's disgusting how good he is. But for him, it's always about his family. And so while he is very, very good at golf, his family is kind of the main driver. And so I think for me, while I love music education and I love what we do and I love education in general, I think my why at the end of the day is I really just like helping people. And so that helping people through the avenue of the arts and through music, I think is just kind of is my why. So that's the medium in which I get to do, like, that's the boat, that's the race car, that's the whatever you want to call it, of the arts, because that is what I feel qualified to do. And that's what brings me joy when I get to do it. And so that's my why, is just honestly, I just, like I said, I just like helping people. And it could be helping a kid um, be able to keep a steady beat on their ukulele and play a couple of chords, or it could be sitting down with a teacher and helping them kind of figure out, how do I better teach my kids, or better lesson plans, or better create systems, because systems are amazing. And this avenue, and being at a university now, like, there's so many more possibilities, because I get to work with um, adults, in addition to working with kids. So that's my why.
Why I'm still a music educator. I mean, first and foremost, my big thing is I love it. Like, I can't see myself doing anything else. Like, if we're talking culturally, right? I'm Filipino. I should be a nurse technically, right?
Should.
Right. And
Heavy
the
quotes.
biggest quotes, air quotes, as possible. But like, really, like, it feels like it's one of those things for me that I just really can't see myself doing or ever coming out of. It's so ingrained in who I am as a person that if I dare do something else, it better be bigger than my love of music, and bigger than my altruistic sense to making sure that people are finding pathways to find where they can flourish. If I can find a better place to do it, I will go, right? I will go to that space and place, and I will do it in that space. But right now, that space for me is being in the classroom with my kids and allowing them to see that they are capable of doing something. They are capable of achieving something. Because in order to see yourself doing it, right, you got to do the thing. Mm. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to dive into it and see, is this really for me? right? In my classroom, the one thing that I always tell and I always point to is failure is proof that you are trying. How many times have like we failed, right? But we still get up and do the thing, right? That's how we got here as music educators. That's how uh sports athletes, right, got they kept going, right? And so that thing that I want to make sure is that I want to make sure my students find the thing. I tell my sixth graders this every year. Um, I don't care what you do as your electives or what you do as an adult, right? As far as like your hobbies, I like my goal really isn't for you to become a musician. I just want you to walk away from my classroom, one, knowing that you can achieve something, and two, you see how passionate that I am about what I do, that you find something that you are equally passionate about. And if you can do that and show me that, then I have done my job as an educator.
I remember reading this article on millennials on just the fact that there's a lot of cringe as we look back. And it's because we did a lot of weird stuff, but we did stuff. We tried. We did a lot of crazy, like just cringy stuff. But it's made us who we are because we tried to do things and we experimented. We failed, quote unquote, like, gosh, fashion is terrible. But,
But it's
but,
coming back.
and they're, and you know what?
Seriously.
They're
That's
gonna learn.
right.
It's
You know,
what?
in the wise words of Sasha Stone, to be cringe is to be free.
Oh,
I love
there
it.
we go.
I always love it. Yes.
That's become
She
a
is
mantra
still
in
here
my
to say
office.
it.
Oh yeah.
I need to make a sign for that one. But
Yeah.
I like that, Genesis, because you're right. Like just try it. Because that's one of the biggest like inhibitors with our like with at least for my students. Like there is, especially when they get, into sixth grade, this apprehension to showcase themselves. And understandably, they're in the age, but like
Yeah.
just try and see what happens. And that's where the beauty is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've shared this before, and I think I am just gonna revise what I said before. Like arts education, the arts have always been an avenue of how I've been able to express myself. And it's been through different mediums, be it music, through photography, through visual art, recently through with Orff through dance and movement. Like it's been a way for me to express things that I have not been able to express. And I find value in that. And I think this, with everything that's going on in this world, I think that having kids know how to have their voice heard and speak their voice through whatever art it is, it holds great value, especially as technologies come and like with the big looming AI and whatnot. Not even looming, it's here, it's prevalent, but like just like jobs can be taken away, but our voices can't, and how we convey that voice cannot be taken. And if I can offer that to my students as a way to express their voice, express their narrative, express whatever is on their hearts, I feel like I've done my job. And I think I say that every year. I really want this year to be a year where I lean into that. It's always apprehensive. Creation is scary. Creation is messy, especially collective creation, because like, everyone's voice is involved with it. But there, as I shared in last week's episode with Darlene and Rachel and Eugenesis, just create. I really want to find ways to have students share their narrative through music and have it showcased so that people can hear it and people can remember it. And so that's my why.
Compared to all of your answers, I feel like mine's going to sound really shallow.
It's all good.
It'll be the
So,
first time.
what?
I love you, Jamie. For listeners, Jamie and I are just
I don't
like
like
brother
it.
and sister. So
Yeah, we worked together
hear
for
a
quite
lot
a
of this
while.
now.
Yeah. Anyway, well, for my why am I still a music educator? Sometimes I ask myself that every day. Just kidding. But sort of.
Sorry. I gotcha.
I know if you listen to my episode about getting to know me better, about Miss Jen brings a fun and about play-based learning, I my part of my reason why is I feel like this is where I belong. This is where I feel like I'm at most myself. Especially sometimes being in summer I forget, but teaching kids the last few days and just having those moments with the kids and the classes where I'm just playing with the kids, whether it's a game, whether we're joking around, or whether we're playing instruments or making a game out of the notes and or just doing some sort of dramatized activity. Play can mean so many different things. And so if you're in that play state or in that flow state, then that's just where we all thrive, I feel like. And it gets underestimated so much. I feel like so many people who don't know about play-based learning or don't know how it could truly work really underestimate it. And I feel like this is where I belong to show. I'm not trying to like, hey, I'm proving you wrong or whatever, but it's more like this is what I believe is truly best for not just our students and our children, but for everybody. So part of my why of being specifically a music educator is that I feel like one of the best ways is through music, because you can do so many different things through music to make play part of your learning. And you could do that with through instruments. You could do that through voice. You could do that through so many different like songs of a variety of cultures. And you can really like diversify and really open your mind and your perspective towards all these different things that you didn't realize actually existed in this world. So it can be underestimated, but it can also open everyone's world to so many things. And I feel like our students really need that. I feel like everybody, including especially our students in our schools, really need to see that. And hopefully the more that they see it, the more that they learn and it sticks with them. Not so that they can become like a musician in the future. Great if they do, but just so that they can have that experience to make them a more kind human being. What were you saying or raising your hand for, Genesis?
I'm only raising my hand because I do want to hype you up just a little bit more than what you are doing to yourself.
Huh?
Is
Oh,
that
okay.
okay? Can I hype you up just a little bit more?
Do it.
I will say like part as you know, since our careers are like entwined a bit, Jamie, like one of the things that I admire for you, and I've always felt a part of your why. It's not the whole thing, but as knowing you as a person and knowing you as an educator, the Jamie's uncanny knack of creating community is like unparalleled by so many people. She doesn't think she does. Like if you are watching the video right now, she's giving me a face. But Jamie's like it just comes so naturally to her that like people are drawn to the sense of that community that Jamie brings in her classroom. And that's why students are drawn to her. That's why paraprofessionals are drawn to her when they interact with her. It's because you don't feel like you don't belong. You always feel welcomed. And am I making you cry again? Is this number
No. No. Is that your goal now?
Every episode we're together, yes.
Oh my gosh.
But I go back to it is really like part of it's always felt like part of your why is to make sure that people feel included. And it has always shown from day one.
Y'all, I really love
Thank
all
you.
you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of like impact we could do with the people around us. I know it's a little bit different, Mark. I was just saying kids, but you know, I mean, you're a kid. How about that? But honestly, like it's looking forward to this new year. I'm looking for this new year where we're all gonna be chatting. Checking
Me
in, chatting,
too.
hanging out.
Same.
We're gonna be sharing a little bit more. We got Spiccato, so don't you leave just yet. But it'll be after the break.
I just want to take a quick moment to shout out Mission Trails Financial, the partner making this show possible at no cost to you. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by financial planning, you're not alone. But Mission Trails Financial is here to make things simpler. They offer tailored financial advice for you, from investments to tax and insurance planning, with a team of experienced fee-based advisors who are CFP designated and fiduciaries. That means they're putting your best interests first. Let's face it, navigating the world of finances can feel like drinking from a fire hose, with endless options for investments just a mouse click away. But Mission Trails Financial aims to cut through the noise by breaking things down into clear, actionable steps while providing regular updates. Mission Trails Financial believes everyone has the right to work with a financial advisor, regardless of how much you've saved. Mission Trails Financial's focus is building a relationship so you are not traveling your financial path alone. They even help you keep track of old 401ks when you're transitioning between jobs, because your financial future should always stay on track, no matter what changes. So don't wait. Let Mission Trails Financial show you how to make that next step towards the future you've worked hard for. Plus, your first consultation is absolutely free. Just visit missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 today. You'll be glad you did, because leaning on professionals like Mission Trails Financial is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more details. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor.
And we're back. But before we continue, a hard left turn. Thank you all so much for being a part of this 120 plus episode journey. Whether you joined us back in episode 0 with Lauren Shelton, or you joined us today, thank you so much. It means a ton to have you join us. And if you want this journey to continue past 7 seasons, please support the things you love. It's, just a good mantra in general. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/chclassroom, where you can get special merch and other things for the class. And if you don't have a coin to toss our way, that's okay. But there are free ways to support us. Leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And you know the drill, 5 stars only. And to add, if you leave a written review, we will read it on the podcast. Follow us on YouTube, on the socials. Leave this episode a like, write a nice comment. All these small things ensure that the mics and lights still stay running. And with that, next off, Spiccato. Alrighty, and for our Spiccato, I'm surprised we haven't done this yet. We've had 120 episodes, which is wild, but we have not yet done lunch bags.
Really?
We've never done lunch bags. And do people still use lunch bags? Do kids still use lunch bags as lunch?
I don't see them using them
Only
much.
if it's provided by the school. That's my expertise.
That's probably what it
I've
is.
experienced right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime I have to put in a lunch order for a field trip, we get the lunch bags.
Yeah.
We get they use plastic bags.
Oh.
Do they pay 10 cents per bag?
I sure hope so.
So yeah, first off, the only reason I have these is because Christian and I use these for our compostable kind of stuff. But what would you use a lunch bag for?
You mean other than the obvious?
Other than the obvious of placing food in there, unless you explain.
Oh, it's just the old Fandango ad where they use those bags and use them as puppets.
To our audio listeners, I'm going to be obnoxious right now.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Up.
Oh, we can't hear the paper. Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. Okay, so puppets, you say, probably?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a arts integration. You can have, since we have an art teacher, we can ask to collaborate, and they can have the paper bag and draw or make a puppet and then use them in the music class.
Okay.
I like that.
I know I said arts integration and collaboration, but they're different things. But basically, maybe
you can do both.
Why not both?
How about you, Jess or Mark?
My brain went to one of my personal favorite lessons with my kiddos. Using it part of a found sound kind of thing, with them. I have a bag of things where like they try to figure something out. Like I have it full of scarves. I have full of like string, plastic bags in there, like Ziploc bags. I should put paper bags in there. And we don't do a found sound as like what can this thing make, but more like what is this item forcing me to audiate or forcing me to make a sound, right? So like strings you can do like, you know, like low to high pitch kind of thing, right? Doing oohs or ahs, like whatever vocable you want to use. So it'd be interesting to see what my kiddos would do if their found sound item was that specific bag and what they would do. Because like me personally, I would like rip that apart and then start having you like trace like the from the edge to edge kind of thing, and use your oohs and ahs. So yeah, like rip it, like literally rip it right now. Like,
I don't want to rip it. I don't want to rip this. No, I gotta use this later.
Imagine ripping it, and then you
he has been
can.
begging me. Sorry.
Aw.
For those of you that are watching, my dog just came on.
My pup.
Yeah, her name's Shopao.
We need to have show pow for a Spiccato.
I mean, actually,
Is this the new Spiccato? All right, what would you do with a dog in your classroom? Go.
go. Mark, I know you're not in the elementary sphere, but like in yours case, how would you use yours? How would you use a lunch bag?
I would use it to make popcorn.
There we go. There we go.
Third cup of kernels, tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil, 2 minutes. No, I've been sitting here trying to think of how a bag could be used. And I don't know. I am out of ideas. I think that both of you had incredible ideas. But John, how would you use a
I feel
bag?
like you could do skates with these things, so that's always an option.
Skates?
But yeah, skating across the classroom and then doing some sort of movement-based thing with it.
Wait, so you would tie them to the bottom of the shoes or your feet and then skate?
Not even tie, just like with enough friction and having the weight, you could skate across. Kind of like, yeah.
Can you, when you do that, and can you do it personally? Also, like record yourself doing that and share it with us, please.
I mean, I don't know. See what happens here.
Oh.
It's not gonna like.
We need to see your feet.
Yeah.
It works. Like I'm on.
Are you on carpet
vinyl
or
flooring?
vinyl? Okay.
But it's vinyl flooring, and so like I guess on carpeting, it'd probably work as well.
Okay.
Was that beautiful? Do I got time?
We needed the feet pic.
Unlike Mark, I'm not trying for that life.
I'll charge you a fee to see mine. Yeah. Okay.
Was I really the only one who thought of Fandango?
Patreon perk.
I mean, no, I thought I mean I did not associate it with that company, but
I always associate it with the ad of like Fandango. You buy your movie ticket off of Fandango. They always use those puppets. I guess that just ages me.
No, that's true. I haven't seen a proper commercial in forever.
So. Really?
Yeah.
You don't have ads on like Hulu or such?
No, I pay for the no ad stuff. I am that bougie. I'm gonna be honest.
I cannot live that life. Like life be expensive.
I cannot have ads.
It's true.
How would you?
I am spoiled.
Listeners, what would you do with paper bags or with ads? What would you do with ads? I don't know. But if you have an idea with paper bags, please make sure you send it to us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. Speaking of where you can contact us, thank you all, by the way. Thank you three for being a part of this conversation. Again, I said it before, really looking forward to this season with all y'all and also the rest of the crew. But if people wanted to, inquire of your feet pics, Mark, where can they contact you?
Not Mark's, yours.
I did not subscribe to this life. Oh, thank you.
That's gonna be a Patreon perk.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Mark, you are in charge of Patreon from now on, so
where Jonathan is skating and we get to see that.
But honestly, so where can people contact you, Marc?
You can contact me at mkeehmer@gmail.com.
Awesome. And Jamie, how about you?
I made a new email that I think will be very easy for people to reach me. It's called msfunjun@gmail.com.
Miss MS, right?
Miss, yes.
Cool. Also, as a reminder, y'all, Miss Fun, who brings the fun, Jun. she
You're gonna
is
get it one of
presenting
these days.
she's presenting at AOSA, so don't forget, because I know people are registering, so don't forget to check that out, y'all. Marc, do you have a plug you want to share or no?
Nope.
Okay. Genesis, on to you. Where can people reach out to you?
Instagram, you can find me at Mr.Santos music teacher. You can also reach me on my email. It's also Mr. Santos music teacher, but that one does not have the dot before the MR, or sorry, after the MR. So yeah, you guys can reach me out there.
Cool. And do you have anything to plug or not yet?
Currently plugs. Nah, I don't have any plugs right now.
Okay. Chill. And you can find me at Mr. Seligman, MRSELAGMAN, on all the socials. No, that's a lie. Not all the socials. On only Instagram, TikTok, and Biskies. As well, you can find us at CH Classroom on those similar platforms. Email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com. If you have an idea for this season, if you want to be part of this conversation, email us, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great 2025-2026 school year. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.